Hi, how are y'all doing? It is me with another journaling video. Which another? There hasn't been one in ages. Here's me with a journaling video. Long time no see, besties. I don't know. Last year I didn't journal that much, so that's why you have not seen a journal flip through. Cause I'm just like, this video's gonna be like 2 minutes long. I mean, knowing me, I'm gonna talk a bunch and it won't be 2 minutes long, but it just feels so, I don't know. And I also just have not remembered that that's a thing that I need to do. Last year I was super on top of it. This year it's already April. Whoops. I mean, speaking of it's already April, this was my March title page. Yeah, and I never did the voiceover for this video. So here we are, finally. Thank goodness, better late than never. Usually the videos disappear into the ether of my mini hard drives, but here we are. Thanks for joining me. The footage is a lot shorter than I thought, but I had asked you guys on Instagram for questions, and you guys gave me some really good ones to talk about in my voiceover. So maybe now I feel motivated to film more Journal with Me's. The thing about filming Journal with Me's is that I hate the pressure of it sometimes, and it doesn't make for very comfortable journaling atmosphere. So that's why I don't film them very often. And this year I'm trying to get back to just making the time to journal instead of dragging my feet because of all of the supplies that I feel I have to take out and get so messy, and then I have to clean it all up. And I can only be journaling when I have all my journal supplies out because it takes over, which I'm very, I like to do multiple things at once kind of person. But then I need to remember that I have an entire apartment, so I don't only have to sit at my desk all day. So, trying to work with that. But anyways, so this spread, quickly let's talk about it. It's March, I'm trying to be excited for spring. I'm not even trying to be excited. I'm trying to not be sad because everybody's seasonal depression in winter. Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't care. You don't care about my seasonal depression in the spring. So, sucks to be you in the winter, but I am thriving. And then in the spring and summer, I'm just, nope, not fun. I want it to be fall. I want it to be Halloween. I want to buy some Halloween decorations. But alas, no, I have to wait. And I have to enjoy the summer and go outside. No thanks. I love being home. I'm a homebody. I got a lot of questions about loneliness and how to not feel lonely and things like that, of that nature. I love being alone. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to tell you to cope with being alone because I love to be alone. But I also think that I love the internet. So I'm very grateful that I can talk to people over the internet. But I can still be home. So, talking about this journal spread, it's a lot lighter. I really went off the rails just now, but I meant to say how it's spring and, try and get into the light aesthetic, find the positives. So I did very light spread using a lot of whites and creams, and it was fun. At first I was going to do a contrasting page, one black, one white, but then I just ended up only doing white. And let me tell you, this is the only thing that I did in March. I guess I was just busy in March. Yeah, right. And I had just gotten some new pieces from Mochi Things. It's shop.mochithings. I'll have a link down below. But I love that shop. I recently found it when I was looking for a planner for this year. So I found it last year. And wow, the stuff. I don't really know how to say it, but the Saudier stickers. They have so many of them, and I was just losing it. I was like, yes. I feel like nobody has them, or if they do, everybody just has the ones that everybody else has. So I recommend this place. The shipping is really fast, and yeah, good stuff. I also got some butterflies because I figured butterflies might be the vibe for spring. I don't know. I don't deal with spring. I don't know how this works. I don't like it here. I don't hate spring, by the way. I think it's very beautiful, but I just very much prefer the fall. Whatever. Moving on. How do you deal with journaling backlog? I don't deal with it. I have always kept I'm only going to journal within the space of March when it's March. If it's April, I'm not going to go backwards and make it then because I didn't make it in March. The point of my journal is like that it's March and I'm showing you what I created in March, not just what I did in March. So Peaches came out in December, and so I did it in this journal because I was like, oh, I didn't have time to do it in December. I will do it now. I think that's what happened. But right now, I say all that, and right now I do want to, because I think I only did this title page in March, but I still want to put in my trip to the Catskills spread, which I'm going to do like right now. So it's fine. It's 11/11, make a wish. Great. What is the easiest thing for you to do when journaling? Collaging. I know I used to be a big advocate for like, you don't need a lot of supplies to make a beautiful spread. You just need a pen and a paper. But recently, I've just been a material girl. I like need inspiration from my supplies. And so then it like leads into a vicious cycle of like, well, I need to buy more things. No, you don't need to buy more things. Just it's like a creative challenge as well to like use what you have. It's not really a challenge because I feel like the things that I've bought recently are very beautiful and I'm inspired, excited to use them. That's collaging all of like my things is the easiest for me to do. And I love it. I just love to use beautiful things. I love to be visually pleased. Does making art run in your family? Not really. I would say no. My sister and I are very artistically inclined, but my mother, absolutely not. And nobody on my mom's side of my family. No shade, Ma. No tea, no shade. And on my dad's side, my dad used to be a filmmaker, photographer, but oh wait, I literally forgot about my grandma. I'm sorry, Grandma. She was a painter. You know, I have some of her paintings in my apartment. I went to see her recently and I stole some of her paintings because they were in the basement, you know, she didn't need them. So yeah, my grandmother is a painter and she used to work with acrylics, and that kind of runs into the next question, which is how do you learn to paint? Have tips? I learned to paint in like a studio. Like I took classes like during the summer when I was at my grandma's house. She sent me to this very nice lady named Diane, and she made us only paint in primary colors. Like, I mean, we didn't only paint in primary, like we only had primary colors to paint with, so we had to like mix our own paints and everything. I learned very traditionally, so it's different for everybody, and we have access to the internet. Like, look it up on YouTube. That is how I improve on painting and just learn in general. So YouTube, I would say, to learn to paint. If you really want to go the extra mile, like go and take a class if you have the means to. But honestly, YouTube is great. And a lot of amazing artists share their process because, I mean, like if you're in a classroom, you're only getting that one teacher's artistic whatever. And that's like, I think something for how I was taught is that like I just really only had this one way of how to paint in my head. And it was very like traditional, like you must do this. Moving on to the last few questions. What is your favorite thing to study in art history? Baroque, Italian Baroque specific. I love it. I love it so much. The more detail in a painting, the better. Because there's so much to look at. I love to be, like I said, I love to be visually stimulated. I want to see a lot of things. I want to be overwhelmed, and so that I'm forced to be there for some time to inspect, to digest. I like a lot of signs, a lot of symbols. That is something that is decipherable, you know? I can come to my own conclusion about things. Whereas modern art, where it's just a freaking big square of one color, bestie, I'm not partaking in that. That is what is it called? Like a hierarchy? No, that's not the word. Like classism. Because only certain people will understand that art. Only a certain amount and a certain type of people have access to what you're even trying to like get across. You're not talking to the average person. So yeah, I don't like modern art at all. I mean, there are obviously some modern art that's nice, but as a whole, I would say no. So yeah, that is my favorite art. And modern art, I don't mean like today's art like that people make. I love today's art. It's very beautiful. It has substance. So anyways, I think sometimes people don't know that I love history and I study that. Like I study history all the time, but I never ever talk about it. I don't know why. But my Patreon tiers are named after my favorite Baroque artists. Now my all-time favorite Baroque artist is not one of the tiers, but Salvatore Rosa. Wow, beautiful, wonderful. Look him up. Anyways, that is it. Those are all the questions that I have today, because that's all the time I might have today. Hopefully we made it, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I just do be hoping a lot these days, okay? But that you enjoyed this video, and maybe I'll do some more journals. No promises, okay? Maybe check my Patreon, because I share my journal pages there so that you don't have to wait for the flip through at the end of the year. Although, where is 2021 flip through? Don't ask, okay? 2022 flip through will definitely be coming because I've journaled more and I feel, yeah. But regardless, every month I share my journal pages with my patrons. So do feel free to join if you'd like to. That is all. Goodbye.